I want to tell you a true story that has made it impossible for me to quit doing interviews with the top solutionaries. For years, I've been creating environmental content on radio, online, and now here on YouTube. Sometimes, in fact, often wondering, is anyone even out there? Who am I reaching? And is it making a difference? Is it worth all the time, effort, and personal costs? Well, something happened that was so improbable that it gave me a definitive answer. 6 years ago, at a climate conference in Aspen, I found myself sitting next to a young mother. She was holding a baby. There was a toddler beside her in a stroller, unusual enough for an event like that. Well, when I spoke up during the panel discussion on communicating climate about the need for deeper, more meaningful mainstream coverage, I sat down and she turned to me looking absolutely stunned.
Your voice was such an imprint in my memory and your name. I remember turning to you and saying, "Are you Betsy Rosenberg? How is that possible?"
She explained that 15 years earlier, while living in Ukraine, she discovered my radio show and it changed the course of her life. What she studied, what she cared about, even the career that she chose.
And I remember topic after topic as Betsy, you invited different speakers. It just touched me in such ways that I cannot describe. It inspired me. It gave me a sense that what I'm doing, what I'm choosing with every time I go to the store, I vote with my dollar. Every time I write something online and people see it, I have an audience and I can use that as a way to inspire others to do the same. Nothing was by mistake. The fact that I was listening to your show back in Crimea on the seaside, and then years later sitting next to you by accident in that conference. And now we meet again, which is lovely.
The serendipity of that miraculous moment left us both in tears. In fact, I was so emotional I forgot to get her name. But I never forgot that encounter. How could I? It kept me going more times than I can count. Then last summer, she found me online, and I finally learned her name, Dasha Gaian. And that's how we came to reconnect recently on Zoom. Stories like Dasha's are why Code Green exists. For decades, this work has been a true labor of love, completely self-funded, driven by a belief that if we can connect people to the right information, the right voices, the right solutions, we can create real change. But here's the truth. Environmental journalism is more important and more needed than ever. As major media outlets cut back on what little climate coverage they were doing, just 2% of all news coverage, or failed to connect the dots between the crises we're living through, the responsibility falls to independent platforms like Cold Green to fill the gap, to go deeper, to tell the truth, the full story, and most importantly, to reach beyond the choir. Because this is not just about information, it's about impact. It's about the ripple effects we don't see, the careers shaped, the priorities changed, the paths redirected, the trajectories, like Dasha's, set into motion. How many more Dashas are out there waiting for the right message at the right time? That's what this work is about, and it's why I cannot quit. And especially now with such strong headwinds and weak political leaders taking us in the wrong direction on so many life and death matters. If you believe in the power of storytelling to drive change, if you believe we need more honest, solutions-focused environmental news and credible climate coverage, if you believe all the earned wisdom of green leaders matter, I invite you to be part of the next chapter of Code Green. We are now, for the very first time, opening the door to sponsors and supporters who want to help scale our mission, to get this content out on all major podcast platforms so these stories, these conversations, and these solutions can reach the people who need them most. And the opportunity for you, yes, you, to make a difference could not be greater. So please watch, enjoy, subscribe, share, and support to help keep Code Green and its messengers growing to reach more Dashas. Thanks for your attention and thanks for caring. We truly appreciate it. It is very much needed. Apathy, disinformation, and time are our biggest enemies, but the facts could not be more clear.